What's up, YouTube? Another lovely episode here with your friendly neighborhood comic book dude for our comic chat specifically. Got some really interesting pieces this week. Some stuff that I never thought I'd, see, get my hands on, be able to grade. I'm just in awe every week when I get to share these things with you guys because, when you're a comic fan and you just, you've got those things, those books that you really like, but you kind of you can respect seeing other old books that you're just like, damn, these are good. That's how I feel when I do this. As always, if you like the content I'm giving you, like it, comment on it, subscribe to it. We're eking every little bit closer to those 100 subscribers, and once we do, I'd love to start doing some comic roundtables, some industry discussions, some trends, things like that. And I want to bring other people on, so I want to be able to say to those people, hey, there are people watching this, at least 100 of them. But all right, let's get to it. So I don't know, should I save the best for last, or should I start with something like oh damn? I think we're gonna start with the oh damn. So I think everybody in the world, with the exception of Aborigines and I don't know, the Amish, know who Batman is. I know for a fact there aren't huge runs of old Batman in this collection of comics that I have access to. But I did not know that there were Batman annuals, which I did come across. And while it is in what we'll call very loved condition, it's still, a piece of history here. This is Giant Size Batman Annual number 1. The first Batman annual ever from 1961. This comic has definitely seen better days as compared to some of the things I show you guys. This is in rough shape. And I don't know if you could tell right there's a big old rip across the cover that was taped back together at some point. I think this would be what we would call a 2, a good. People often use that word when they're not familiar with the comic terminology for the grades and the numbers. If somebody says to you that they have a good comic and you have any concept of comic grading, good is not that good. On a scale of 1 to 10, good is a 2. Yeah, so lower end, it could be worse. It could be fair or incomplete, but it's a good. Despite that fact, even though it's only in good, Batman Annual number 1 in this condition is about a $55 book. Yeah. Sometimes age and character just trump bad shape. Although, for comparison, that same book in near mint would be $1,500. So, is it still, more than 400 times its original value? Yeah. Could it be so much more? Yes, also. In that vein, I did also find 2 other Batman annuals, not consecutively. There was a number 3, little old-looking Joker and a giant ape cover. Some nice stuff on the back there. Show you the covers of some of the stuff that the stuff that was in this annual reprinted. Or I don't know if it's reprints or yeah, okay, so this one, all the covers are showing you the things that were reprinted in it. This other one had covers on the back, but I think it was they were ads for. These don't say reprints; they say they're check the shelves for these issues. So it's more like an ad. The Batman Annual number 3 is in slightly better condition. I would call it a 3 out of 10, which is between a good and a very good. In that shape, it's about a $38 book. Again, could be in much better shape, but it's Batman, it's old. And last one of those annuals is a Batman Annual number 5. I mean, again, I'm just dumbstruck at the fact that he had these. They're beautiful, despite their condition. Just in awe. That one is in VG, or very good. It's about a 4.0. It's about just a little, like around $25. So, mostly because these are harder to come by. The prices that you see on these will probably be relatively close to the gun. It's not like Batman Annual Number 1s are going up for sale every day, right? So there's those. What else can I share with you? So next, for any of you original sci-fi fans out there, this property has had many iterations. Might be comic, might be show. It's at several shows. I'm not sure if they've ever done a movie. I feel like that this would be the type of thing where it'd be like Star Trek, where if they did do movies, they were in conjunction with the shows. So, but we have the original Marvel Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. Got all 6 issues, or I have 6 issues of it. I believe that was only a 6-issue series. Some of these are really awesome. Just like, I never was a Battlestar Galactica guy, but yeah, I always liked how the Cylons looked. Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah. Any other cool ones? It's another nice, like, painted Cylon-ish cover. They definitely looked like Marvel looked like they were kind of trying to be on the heels of Star Wars. It's got a very similar look to the Star Wars comics that they were publishing. Grade-wise, these are all, let's see, number 3 was 8.5. Number 2 and 4 were, number 1 and 6 were 9.0s, and then all the rest were 9.2s. So they're all great. The series as a whole isn't worth a whole lot. Issue number 1 in a 9.0 is $18, which, is nice. I mean, it was a 35-cent book, so it's what? Like 50 times its original value? Pretty good. But, to pick up this whole run, it really wouldn't break somebody's bank if they were like a big Battlestar Galactica guy. I think this is going to run, what was that? Like just south of $70, maybe even less, if we give a break on the whole set together. So, there's that. Next, one of the challenges that I feel like I'm going to come across, and I feel kind of bad about this because on the one hand, I'm trying to help get these items out into the world, get them to people, and as I come across them, the way these were kept aren't the way most comic collectors keep their comics, which may be a testament to why a lot of them are in such good shape. Most people keep their stuff in boxes, which nothing against that. This individual kept all his stuff in locked steel file cabinets in his basement with dehumidifiers around them all for upwards of decades. And apparently that worked. Apparently that's a strategy for saving comics, I guess. But he didn't keep all his comics in the same place. Some of the places that I took these comics out have had more room. He could have put more in them, but maybe it was just a issue of not wanting to, damage books by smushing too many together. The reason I bring that up is because a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if it was last week, I think it was the week before last, I profiled Invaders for you. Invaders 1 to 21 in the annual. And I'm here thinking, okay, well, you started Invaders and you never finished it. Found some more Invaders. I will say that set hasn't actually sold yet, so what we'll probably do is I'll tack these onto that and we'll go from there, but I'll show you what we found to add to that. We had that happen a couple of times today, though, so I get the sense that maybe going forward as I come across some of these sets and then I back check them and I'm like, there's more issues of this set. Let's hold off on listing these until we find them all. But so we had Invaders 22 to 41 this time, so that would make the whole set 1 to 41 plus the annual. What do we got? We got, let's see if there's any really cool covers here. We got a double Human Torch cover. We got them battling Nazis in a submarine. That's pretty cool. We get the old spike trap with Bucky and Toro needing to get saved. Let's see, we got an issue where all the kids get together and make their own little team, like, call themselves the Kid Commandos. Oh. They just really were not afraid of, like, throwing the swastika and the Nazi stuff out there back then. It's kind of, I mean, I'm not a fan of that stuff, but it's just sort of a testament to the fact that we live in a different time. Which is weird, because I feel like there's more freedom now. Could be wrong, but 1978, and wow, the Teutonic Knight, big old Nazi, Ubermensch. Let's see, issue 31, the invaders pulled an Abbott and Costello, and they met Frankenstein. Yeah. Another Hitler cover, too. What do we got here? Invaders 32. You're too late, invaders. Now you must trace the rest of the Third Reich's ultimate warrior. Thor. Did something to ensnare Thor. Seems unlikely. Ooh, some of our lovely classic heroes here. We got another one of the American heroes, like Cap and the Six American Heroes type, the Destroyer. And looks like after that, in the next issue, we got the Wizard joining the team. He appeared in some of the earlier issues, but he features prominently in a lot of the covers after this. It's another American hero cover. We got Miss America. Oh. Oh my god. This is just silly. This one's got a guy named the U-Man, the Nazi from Atlantis. What the fuck? Yeah. I don't know, guys. And that's all the ones we found for invaders. Again, who knows? Maybe we'll find even more of those. I don't know. What do we got after that? After that, yes, we do have another instance of this, thinking, hey, guy started a comic run and didn't finish it, and I was mistaken. Red Sonja, I profiled for you in week 1 also with issues 1 to 5. So we've got 6 through 15 now. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. So the invaders that we found, the 22 to 41, are all 8.5s and better. Not a big shock. A lot of that stuff's just in really good shape. So, but yeah, Red Sonja. 6 to 15 of this Marvel run. I feel like I just missed her, like, life-wise. Like, I wasn't around when the movie came out, and by the time I was old enough to watch it, there were plenty of other strong female warrior type characters. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But yeah, so we got Red Sonja, 6 through 15. Some of these are cool covers. So far, though, in a lot of these, I didn't really come across any like big to-do stuff like we have in some weeks where it's like, oh, first this or first that. Like, just quality comics, beautiful stuff. So yeah, that's another one. I gotta double check. I don't think the Red Sonja is sold yet either, so this will probably get added to that. And same kind of dealio. These are all 8.0 and higher. So all beautiful stuff. Red Sonja is not really breaking the bank with any of the issues. To be honest, neither were the Invaders. I think the most expensive issue that I showed you, that batch, was a $12 issue. The rest hovered around 6 and 7. Not for any defects or anything. Those later issues were just worth less. These Red Sonja is the most expensive issue. It's a $10 issue, and then the rest are 7, 8. So there is that. All right. Can anyone tell me What character knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? No? Guess? Maybe you're saying the answer as you watch this? Well, the answer to that question is the Shadow. Who looks something like this. This is the original Shadow comic from DC. There was a movie at one point. God, who was in that? I feel like it was one of the Baldwins. Feel free to correct me in the comments. I was positive it was a Baldwin. I don't feel strongly enough to say which one. I mean, probably Alec. Or heck, maybe it's not even a Baldwin. But yeah, definitely nice stuff. These were, I got 1 through 11 on that. Is that right? 1 through 12 on that. Which, you know, these are following the same general trends as most of the comics. 8.0 and higher. The prices on some of these earlier issues are a lot more, though. I mean, this number 1 is an 8.5, and it's $54. So, I mean, this whole set will probably run like $200-300. You know, there'll be a price break for the whole lot of them, but beautiful shape like most things. Oh my god, look at some of these. Some people are more into comics for the art, and I mean, I think if that's the case, these covers are definitely for you. A lot of like painted work on these, you know, very almost like abstract looking, like Picasso. Look at that! It's another beautiful painted cover, issue 3. Yeah, and then they jump over to something more like pulpy, more Nazi fighting. Although they changed the logo on these guys because I think they weren't quite as bold as Marvel apparently. Look at that hunchback. You like make out that entire hump. I'm sorry. Oh man. Night of the Falling Death. That's a great title. I couldn't tell you why, but it's cool. Alright. And one more for you guys, number 12. So. Yep. Let's see what else we got. We got a couple of onesie twosie type things, which are really cool onesie twosie type things. They're not like some of these things where they're like full blown runs. You know, there may have just been like some straight up interest in these characters by the owner of this collection. It's just like, I want to grab that up, or I saw that, I'm going to buy it, or maybe in hindsight, like as an adult, he went back and got them. Where is it? All right, so this is Shazam number 1. So this is his like, it's not his first appearance, but it's his first. It's like his reintroduction into the Silver Age of comics. So, I mean, it's in great shape. It's an 8.0. It's about a $50 comic. Beautiful, you know, right around the time that people would have been watching the Shazam Power Hour. So, it's definitely a nice gem. From there, we found a couple of DC Showcase Presents. DC Showcase. DC Showcase was kind of like the equivalent of Marvel Comics Presents, or I don't know, or DC Comics Presents later on. They're almost like anthology titles, but in a way they're really more like springboard titles. I think it was DC's way to try out characters or get a feel for characters to decide whether or not they wanted to give them full blown titles. And in some cases it worked, and in some cases it didn't. What do we got here? DC Showcase number 56. This has got Dr. Fate on it. It's got Hour Man on it. It's a cool looking book. It's, you know, not in the best shape. This book I would call a 5.0. Probably one of the lower end books we've seen, but not the lowest. 5.0 is somewhere between very good and fine. So even still, though, it's a $30 book in I'm 5. So just cool stuff. I mean, like Dr. Fate, I've always been a fan. If you're a fan of him, that might be something that would appeal to you. The next couple, though, we got relate to a lovely DC character by the name of the Spectre, who I think we mentioned last week when we were talking about Phantom Stranger. He may have popped up some there. He's a god-level entity. He, was recently portrayed by Stephen Amell on Arrow. Just kind of like there doing stuff, have the power to do stuff, being cryptic, basically the job of any omnipotent figure in comics. But DC Showcase number 60 is his first Silver Age appearance. That is another 5.0 book, but that is $60. Because he's the Spectre, man. He's big shit. Not surprisingly, DC Showcase 61, second Silver Age Spectre. That one is a 5.0, and that one's also a $30 book. So, there's that. DC Showcase 64. Just trying to get ridiculous with our counting on appearances, but I think they usually cut off at 5 in the guidebooks, because number 64 is the Spectre's 5th appearance. Yeah. That was a little bit better. I mean, that was a fine. It was a 6.0, around $35. All beautiful stuff. Next one, I almost feel like I should have had before we did Phantom Stranger next week, because this preceded Hit. He existed before Silver Age, and then they had his appearance in Showcase, which kind of brought him into the Silver Age, and then he got that ongoing title that we went over last week. So that would be... Where is it? Ah, there it is. DC Showcase 80 is the first Silver Age appearance of the Phantom Stranger. This is not bad. This is about a 7.0. In that shape, it's about a $60 book. Very nice. Very cool introduction to the Phantom Stranger. Probably give you a read on him before they gave him his own book, and it must have had enough interest that they were like, do it, greenlight that title. So there's that. Next, oh, this is beautiful. I also feel like I've heard speculation and rumors about this character getting some sort of representation in the MCU, be it, I mean, like, She-Hulk's got a show coming out soon, so I've seen her associated with She-Hulk before. I don't know. She was an Avenger. She's been in S.H.I.E.L.D. She's done lots of things. So there's really lots of places you could stick Jessica Drew, who is the subject of our next book, Spider-Woman, number 1. We actually have issues 1 through 17, which, this is a weird one. I don't usually see such a steady, or not a steady, a drastic drop-off between issue 1 through the rest of the series. It's usually like a gradual, like when we were looking at Shadow just now, that first issue is a $55 book. The next issue is like a $30-something book, They're not the same, but, the incremental steps down from issue to issue. Issue 1 of this book is beautiful. It's probably the best copy of this I've ever seen. I've seen a handful. It's 9.2. I would call it near mint. It's $50 in that shape. Issue 2 is a 9.0, so very close in price to that. Value-wise, it's only a $5 book. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. The 35-cent issues, so I mean, $5 means that it's still appreciated. It went up about 15 times its original value, but I don't know. It's just weird to me. So probably this whole run will run like $100, something like that, for issues 1 to 17. That's also one that if I wouldn't be surprised if we found some more of, because I do believe there are more than 17 issues in this series. But yeah, there's that again. Let's see, show you some cool covers from this. This is kind of cool. Her being the, predator. Oh, this next one's cool. It's a little crossover action with Werewolf by Night. Looks like she had like a lot of, random D-list, Z-list villains to introduce in her book. I see a lot of them here. Brother Grimm, which showed up in her book. So we got the Shroud. Death Plunge. But yeah, the conditions on this on the Spider-Woman stuff are mostly 9.0s and 9.2s. There's an 8.0 or an 8.5 here or there, but the vast majority are 9.0 and higher. But like I said, and yet that doesn't really seem to have affected the price so much. So, what we've got here. After that, we've got another case of Hey, We Found More, which I kind of feel bad about because this is the type of book that I probably would have preferred to sell altogether if I'd known that there were more of these. But I found some more Marvel Star Wars. Actually, that's the last thing we got today, Marvel Star Wars. We got issues 5 through 26. There's another one where like everything's like 8.0 or higher, except for the first one I'm going to show you, which was a 6.5. Just had a little bit more wear than some, but a lot of these are money books. I mean, like issue 5 is a $12 book. Probably would be more if it was in better shape. Issue 6, which I got at an 8.5, is a $27 book. Nice looking Darth Vader versus Luke cover. $27. So, most of these issues are like, I don't know, $15-20 each. They taper off a little bit as we go farther down the list. Some of these covers, man, they kill me. Like the way they make some of these characters like look way different. This one's actually not so bad. I mean, they look pretty decent here, but what else do we got? Oh boy, Doom World. That's a cool looking cover. Oh my god, these next two definitely don't do Chewie justice. I joked with one of my friends and I said this is what Mr. T would look like if he was a Wookiee. I don't know. I mean, beautiful shape. Issue 13, it's a 9.0, but. And then this other one, he looks more like a Sasquatch. Although, in this one, at least his face looks a little bit closer to what it would look like normally. But beautiful, beautiful stuff. Look at that. How about that? A Star Duel. I'm not sure if this is the first appearance of this character. I didn't see anything marked in the guide for this, but at the time, they might not have known that this guy was getting his own book, because I saw a miniseries for this not long ago, like within the last 6 months to a year. It's like a Star Wars Bounty Hunters mini. It's got the Hunter, and this guy looks very familiar to the same guy on the cover of that. I would almost think that the cover was an homage to this one. So there's that. An Untold Tale of Luke's Past. What else we got? We got... Oh, they said the name of the thing on the cover. The Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader's looking particularly bulky here. Shadow of the Dark Lord. What else we got? This cover looks kind of trippy to me. I mean, not in a bad way. Just like, you know, I almost feel like this would be like the Star Wars equivalent of like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It's like Star Wars in the heat trail with, I don't know, with fire. I don't know. Looks cool, and it's the type of thing that I feel like if you were maybe in an altered state might look kind of freaky to you. What do we got here? We got Ben Kenobi fights alone. And then the last one from this group is 26. Now, because I've already sold 1 to 4, I don't really see a reason to hold back on selling this in chunks now. But I think, like I said, going forward, if I come across any titles that feel like they're, you know, close to complete but not, I might hold off and be like, okay, let's see, are we going to find the rest? I will probably give a little bit of a even better break on the Star Wars, just on the reasoning of the fact that it's not 1 to 4 aren't in it. Not that really takes away from the books. You know, if you were buying these individually, that would have no bearing on the price, but that may have been an incentive for somebody to buy it before, and not having those could de-incentivize. So, you know, if somebody's looking for some great Star Wars back issues at, you know, in great shape at a better price than they might find normally, keep an eye on the links in the description, you know, for eBay and Facebook and all those places. I have started a Facebook group as well for a lot of the things that I'm posting here. That way, you know, when you the Facebook link brings you to my profile, you know, you're welcome to add me or ask to be put into that group so you can see these things. There's like sort of a centralized place to view the stuff rather than be like, it's Facebook, but where am I going to see the things? So, but other than that, that's it for today. So, you know, I'll put up all this stuff for sale shortly, and if you're interested, let me know. As always, I've been your friendly neighborhood comic book dude, and we'll catch you probably tomorrow or the next day with a regular weekly collectible video. All right, guys, take care.